Howdy there. In this video, let's go over 9 items that if you just start climbing and you really want to increase your ease of life climbing by having certain items using money, then this is the video that you should watch. In no particular order, here we go. So the first item is going to be the chalk bucket. Now, if you don't know what a bucket is, it's basically just a bag that you put a bunch of chalk inside. Now, the great thing about this chalk bucket is it has a magnetic closure system, meaning the top three, 1, 2, 3, and the other side, 1 to 3, obviously, they automatically connect to each other. Now, you may be wondering, well, why is that so important? Well, because in the world climbing, believe it or not, there's a lot of times where you're gonna drop your chalk bag, bah, and then gravity will come and kick it over, bah. And as you can see, only the smallest amount of dust happens when such a freak accident happens. And that is because due to this awesome magnetic closure system. And if you wish to close this bag adequately and stuff inside, say, a bigger bag like a backpack, all you really gotta do is use this unique closure thing called twister once and a twister twice, and then I tie you behind the neck, bop, and like that, no chalk will ever escape. It has two nice little brush holders here, one kind of big, one really small. Has two pockets, one here, and I do highly recommend this bag. It's about $20 on Black Diamond. There will be links for everything that I mentioned in this video below, unless it's something dumb. But yes, definitely get yourself a chalk bucket. This is a must-have. Now, next to a chalk bucket is, unsurprisingly, chalk itself. Now, when it comes to buying chalk, you want to buy them in bulk or like big quantities because the price per value ratio ounce is just better. Me personally, I like the Metolius Super Chalk. 1, the price; 2, probably the price; and 3, probably the price again. But I also like chunky chalk. The chalk in here, let me show you. Comes in these big clumpity clumps. Now, the advantages of having big clumpity clumps is, let me show you. With these big clumpity clumps, you can actually play tic-tac-toe on sidewalks. And that's really good for making friends. Also good for making tick marks. But of course, chalk is specific to each individual person. This might not work for you the way it works for me, but I find my hands work pretty well with all types of chalk, and this tends to be the best bang for the buck, and I really like breaking up the chalk as I grab the chalk via my chalk bag. So this is the chalk I use. I do recommend it, but I know it's not the best in all be all. I hear unicorn dust is pretty good. I also hear mag dust is phenomenal, but it's also like the most expensive stuff out in the world. But the third thing is gonna be a sock, chalk, sock, a sock, this thing where you could put sock inside it. Now, the only reason why you want to buy this, and trust me, you only want to buy one of these, never buy more than one of these. The only reason why you want to buy one of these is so you can put it inside your bag. Now, the purpose for this is that you could take it out and you could chalk climbing holds. That is what this little chalk thing is useful for. Besides that, it's not much useful for anything else. I have never actually seen anyone refill these refillable chalk bucket sock things back up. I tried it once and realized it was more pain than trouble than it was worth. So definitely get one of these, but just for the sole purpose of chalking up something. But you could also simply do this with like a sock, like a literal sock, but I think that's kind of nasty if you just pull out a sock from your bag. That'll just make people look at you weird. So get yourself one of these. Next, oh shit, we have a brush, a small brush. Now, the great thing about the small brush is, well, obviously it can get in between small holes, tiny crevices, and it's good. It has a nice handle. The one I have right here, I don't know what it's called, but I'll leave a link in the description below. It's really nice. You see how ergonomic it is, so it doesn't abrase my knuckles while I'm scraping stuff down. Phenomenal, fantastic. Here's a quick brush tip. 9,000% of the time, the top of the brush will get worn down first because people will brush going like this. When you're brushing, you want to try to brush it as flat as you can, and even with a slightly downward tilt. This way, it'll start to wear from the back first, and then it'll start to even itself out, and then you can start focusing on the top. But most people brush like this, and hence the top of it is just totally ruined. In which case, once it's gone, you could totally just cut off the top with like a saw or blade, and then you're in good condition, but whatever. But, you know, try to brush kind of like at a downward angle, like that. And you want to preserve the brush. If you don't care, that, you know, just go balls to the wall. So yeah, get yourself a nice brush, And with the nice brush, you of course attach it to your nice bag. I bet you can't guess what the next item is. That's right, big brush. This one is from MVP exclusively, so just check out their website. Really nice brush. They increased the price on it. Sad bummer. I got it when it was cheaper. Now the reason why you want a big brush as opposed to a small brush is really for surface area control. A big brush is good for brushing off big, massive volumes and slopers, whereas this is for crimps. Sure, this could be used on big, massive volumes and sloper, but it's not as effective nor as bristle saving as this. When you use this, you're gonna hit all the bristles at once for that nice, even scrubbity dub. And just covers up a lot of surface area at once, which makes it excellent brush combination to have. One big one, one small one. Watch me put it back in there and there. Now what you're gonna want to have next is what's known as a nail clipper. If you can't find one of these, you just deserve to not be breathing. But if you can find one of these, breathe on. The purpose of having these is you never know when you're gonna need to clip your nails mid-climb or after you fall down, realize your nails are long, because everybody tends to forget. And if you're able, and if you acquire a nasty flapper of the nature, you could use this to clip it off. Really versatile, really good at cleaning wounds up. It's hard to make a nail clipper sound fantastic and sexy, so I'm just gonna say it's useful. Get it? Yes. So observe me put the thing in my bobber. Now of course after a nail clipper will come some tape. Great thing about tape, wrap your fingers after you get a flapper, before you get a flapper, to prevent yourself getting a flapper. All good stuff really, for injuries, for anything. You can't go wrong. I personally have this thin tape, which I really like. You could buy the thicker versions or you could buy a different type of tape. I like to use this one for no particular reason besides I bought it and it came in a pack of 8, and it's good enough, it's rippable enough, and it's sticky enough to for my purposes. I never tape because I have an injury. If I do, it's always a flesh wound. In fact, I only tape when I have flesh wounds. So that's how I like to view this taping. And if you're slightly curious on how to tape your fingers, let me just give you a quick little rundown. All right, so you're gonna take the tip, obviously dark, and you're gonna take top to bottom, take top to bottom. You're gonna hit it, and when we tape it, we're trying to go in this X pattern, right? I'm just gonna exaggerate the shit out of this X pattern so you see, right? We're going in the X pattern. Do you see the X pattern? Do you see how exaggerated that X pattern is? So that's what we want. Oh, now I'm gonna do it normally, without exaggerating it so much. And you just want it to cover about 1/2 of the paddage as you go down and back. And here's a little fun tip. If you're taping past your knuckle, like what I'm about to do now, instead of taping it with your finger completely straight, you could just put a bend in your finger right away, right? Put a bend into it, and then tape it with your fingers already bent. Now what that will do, okay, is when you hold on, let me finish. I know patience, please, is a virtue, someone once said. Alrighty. Now what that bend in the finger did right there was it made sure there was no slack in my taping. Therefore, if it was super straight and that bent, and then it would get really tight and whatnot on me. But because I pre-bent it when I taped it, it was all good. And now I have this nice covering right there all the way through. So I really much prefer this tape. And you know where the tape goes? That's right, into that chalk bucket with the magnetic closure system, which is fantastic. I wish this video was sponsored. It's not though. But the next item on the menu is a sanding device mechanism. I have a Sandbar because Instagram has bombarded me with their advertisement, and I finally caved in and I started using it recently. I was a non-believer until I started using it recently, and believe it or not, it works pretty well. It really softens your skin and evens it out. Now the way I recommend everyone to use it is once you get done your climbing session, no matter if your skin is like good or bad, just go around all the surfaces and just give it a light sanding. And what the light sanding will do is it'll really make your skin nice, flat, and even. nice, flat, and even skin heals easily, and it prevents any of your frays or popped up skin from catching onto holes and making it possibly worse in the future for a worse injury. So I do recommend you get some form of sanding device. I wouldn't necessarily recommend Sandbar unless you have the funds. I think this was like $40. But you could do well with just like a sand block or like literally sandpaper. Depending on where you live, if your sidewalk is good enough, you could just scrape your fingers against the sidewalk, or sandstone, whatever this is your preferred. Honestly, anything that's has a little bit of coarse pores, texture, grit, whatever this is. Yep. But no, sandbar, quite useful. Sanding paper, excellent. You know where this goes? I actually put this in my upstairs bathroom. Therefore, when I come home and before I take a shower, I can just quickly take a shower, and it's nice and easy. So this does not go in the bag, actually. Lastly, we have some form of foot powder. I use Friendly Foot. Now, the magic about Friendly Foot is that it makes your feet not smell like booty and your shoes not smell like garbage. It's phenomenal. The way you utilize this, imagine I have a shoe. Here's my shoe right here. And after you get done climbing, you just take this. Ha! Ah, wow, I really don't want to waste this. Give me a second. All right, I have real shoes now. You take this, at the end of your climbing session, you dab a little bit in. Once you dab a little bit in, you shake it up. Bah! Excellent, you leave it alone. And then next time you climb, you take your shoe, you dump all the excess powder in. Powder out. And then your shoe will forever never smell bad. Now, the way in my experience, this powder in particular is good for preventing smell, not eliminating smell. I have heard of powders that are good for both, but this one, from my experience, is only good for preventing smell. And it does that to a 100% success rate, so long as you never forget to powder your shoes after you get done climbing every single time, which I have never forgotten to do. One bottle will last you a pretty damn long time. This is coming from a guy who climbs practically every single day, and I used to climb like twice a day, and I'll powder my shoes every single goddamn time. Just letting you know. This, by the way, goes inside my backpack. Alrighty, that was the video. Hopefully you have some finances to purchase all of these things at once, because I find the longer you climb, the more you're like, yeah, why didn't I buy this when I first started? So don't want to be like that. You better make your life as easy as it can be using the power of money if you have it. If you don't, what a bummer. But anyways, I hope you found this video useful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time, partner. Actually, hold up. If you want to see a video about really nice climbing drills that will help you become a better climber, check out this video right here. And if you want to check out 4 exercises that did not work for me, check out this video right here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time, partner.